So welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us.
So we're getting ready to make some jerky. This is about a 3-pound bottom round roast. And I have trimmed, had some fat on it. You don't want a lot of fat on your beef jerky. And the grain on it is running like this right here. So I'm going to cut across the grain. And I'm going to cut it about in half to start with. And then I'm going to put it on the slicer. Now it's just a little bit still froze, but that'll make it slice better. You can make it a little thinner than that, but it's going to shrink. I actually adjust it down just a little more. It's going to take it longer to dehydrate, but it should be a little more tender. Won't be as tough to eat, chew anyway. Which I actually kind of like that. But you can do it whatever thickness, within reason what you want to do anyway. Now this meat is, like I said, froze just a little bit and it makes it a lot easier to slice. Making some pretty cuts.
Well, it looks like some pretty meat.
Yeah, I believe it'll be alright.
So it's a bottom round is what this one is.
Yeah, you want the least amount of fat. This has got quite a bit in it, but it should be fine.
We do have some sirloin roast and arm roast out there, and I think the arm roast may have less fat in it, but you can't hardly get beef that doesn't have some kind of fat running through it.
Normally you want fat.
Yeah, it gives a good flavor.
But it will give a good flavor, and it will cook down a lot. And
it'll dehydrate.
And we keep it in the refrigerator after it's made, so.
We keep it sealed up. And if there's enough of it, we seal it up in vacuum packed bags. So.
And freeze it, right?
Yeah, freeze it. So I guess you want to make your marinade up then? Show them what you use.
Mm-hmm. Talked about this some. This is the Leam Mighty Bite Slicer. It's 8.5 inch. It's a 200 watt. And it'll do pretty much anything you need to do. And it does have a sharper serrated blade if you're like cutting cheese or you're cutting something that's really frozen hard and you're cutting thicker pieces or what have you. Like maybe thicker for lunch meat or whatever. But this is the only blade since I've had it that I've used. Now, we're not sponsored by this at all. It's made by Leam. It's called Backwoods. And this one here is hickory, a hickory smoke flavor. We've got about half a pack left. And I think I'm going to put just a little more, open up another bag and put just a little more.
How many ounces is the pack? It says 3.
It's it's 3.6 ounces, but it's got the instructions on the back that a pound of meat, you use 1 ounce for a pound of meat. And you put about a half a cup of water. So we got 3 pounds, so we're going to put about a cup and a half of water. And they've got teriyaki, they've got the original, and I'm going to mix a little bit of the original with my hickory smoke.
Now, we actually, where did you buy the backwoods? Was it at the tractor supply place, the feed store, or did we buy it
That's where I found it. It's at different places. I'm sure you can get on Leam and order it too.
Some of it we got at Bass Pro Shop too. So there's different. Yeah, you can go to the Leam online. I will try to put it at least the slicer.
I'll do a little bit of mixture here.
When you see the word shop come up on my video, you see it pop up there. If you'll click on it, I'll usually have a product that we're using in a video that you can go straight to if you're interested in it. Now this does have preservatives in it. If you want to make your own homemade, which we've done lots of times, there's lots of good recipes out there. And
this does have some preservatives, but it's got a lot of natural powders in it too. It's got your worcestershire and your
Worcestershire.
Worcester.
What's your sister? Who's your sister's sauce?
Yeah, it's got sugar and a little bit of spices. It's got a little bit of preservative. It's got a little bit of cure in it, but it's not too bad. But
it's not too bad, yeah.
You can make up your own, and we have made up our own before.
We really like the combination of their marinade. And you can actually do this dry, as a dry rub, or he'll be putting some water in here.
And a half water. Whisk her up pretty good. I got a big enough bowl this time, didn't I?
Well, your other bowls are in the refrigerator with duck breast in it, getting ready for me to put up. So
yeah, we got to get them vacuum packed, don't we? Well, it smells good, don't it? You smell that smoke flavor in it.
Yeah. I think next time I want to make some teriyaki. We did try to make jerky out of the duck meat, and I think we may have talked about that in one of the videos, and it was really strong, wasn't it?
Meat.
The meat.
You got to cook it so long.
Yeah, when you have to cook duck meat that long or dehydrate it.
And maybe somebody have a certain recipe that's better. I don't know.
It was the meat. The meat taste was really stout. So we did try the duck in jerky. Now, eating it fried up or like a steak is delicious.
Now, I have eaten some goose jerky, so that was really good. So I might have to try it again one of these days. I might have to marinate it in some of this or something and see what happens. It really got dark though, didn't it?
It got dark like liver, and it had it
got black, didn't it? And it was pretty stout.
So if anybody has ever dehydrated and made jerky out of duck, let us know in the comments if there's a better way to do it. That was our first time of trying to make jerky out of duck breast. This is a good way to preserve your meat and vacuum seal it, and you can put it in the freezer and it'll last for, I don't know, probably last a year or more, wouldn't it?
I'd say.
So,
if
things, of course, I don't even talk about that anymore, but if you had to take off somewhere and you needed to take some protein with you,
what I like about it is
jerky is a good thing.
Like when we go on a trip, I like to take a little jerky with me.
Right.
Like when I go duck hunting, my 9 o'clock snack in the duck woods or whatever. It's handy and it's good for you. So it's gonna make quite a bit of jerky.
Y'all been asking about Hank, and y'all been very kind in your comments. Hank is eating. He's just not eating like he was, and we've got an appointment. Take him to the vet and have him checked for, what'd you say, hookworms?
Yeah, heartworm.
Heartworms.
Get him started on heartworm medicine.
Yeah, because, that's what it could be. He does still, he plays and has a lot of energy, but we haven't heard him coughing or, it's just, and Danny is still feeding him a good brand of dog food that he was raised on. That he was eating when we got him. So it's not that we've changed his dog food. We let him, he's with us every day. We're very active with him. So.
He don't really act like too much he feels bad. He just slowed way down on his eating and it got me a little concerned, but we got an appointment for him.
So you reckon that's enough marinade for? Oh, that's a lot of meat, ain't it? You don't realize it till you get sliced up how much is really there.
There's still a lot of liquid down there if you can get it rolled up in it.
And you can really smell the liquid smoke in it, or the dehydrated liquid smoke that was in the seasoning.
It's getting covered good.
And
what I'll do, I'll stir it a couple of times. It's probably going to set 24 hours. I guess we'll probably dehydrate it tomorrow. Put it in a dehydrator tomorrow. But
yeah, probably.
I'll stir it a couple of times as it sits in there and soaks all that in. Looks pretty good. Smells good.
Well, let's see. What time is it? 11 o'clock almost. We'll put it in there and let it marinate till tomorrow afternoon, probably.
Probably tomorrow afternoon. About 24 hours or so. You don't have to. I kind of like to. You can do it 12 hours. You can do it 8 hours, I guess, if you wanted to. But I'll stir it a couple of times. I'll stir it tonight, and then I'll stir it again tomorrow morning, and we'll put it in a dehydrator tomorrow afternoon, probably, if we're here to get time. Not maybe tomorrow night, but it's going to turn out good, I bet.
I think so. So we'll cover it up with plastic and we're going to stick it in the fridge, and we'll be back when it's good and marinated and get it in the dehydrator.
Our beef jerky has been marinating over 24 hours. We let it go a little longer because we were busy. And I've stirred it several times, stirred it good. Well, it's been marinating, and it's marinated really good. It looks good. Looks like it's going to really turn out good. And I'm putting it on, I'm going to put it in a dehydrator. And I'm putting it on the racks right now. And we're going to run it about 4 to 6 hours. You'll just have to check it. It depends sometimes. 4 to 6 hours on roughly 165 degrees. That's to get the temperature up to kill, some of the bacteria. 165 to 170 degrees. This smells really good. I hope it looks like it ought to turn out really good. You really don't want your meat, touching very much at all. It will shrink a little bit. I know it smells like jerky. It smells good to me.
That is a good jerky marinade. Of course, you can make your own homemade if you find a good recipe you like to.
We've done it before. You can make your own. I've eaten this before and really like it. A friend of mine was telling me about it. And that he liked it.
You won't be able to get it all in there first batch, will you?
Looking like maybe not. Can I get? We got 4 trays.
You can get 5 trays in there.
Well, I'll probably be able to get it then. Maybe it looks like.
Okay.
There's gonna be enough air under it, probably.
Yeah.
So it's going to end up 4 racks. So that means that we can kind of separate it out where to get more air. Maybe cook just a little bit faster or better. So we got our jerky in there.
It won't go to 165. It goes straight to 167. So
That's fine. Between 165 and 170 is fine. This is a Denali dehydrator. Really like it. So far, I'm just really impressed with it. It does a good job.
So we got 6. It shows you 6 hours at 167.
Yeah, and we'll see how long it takes. So we got our jerky done. This particular batch cooked about 5 hours, maybe 15 minutes. And it turned out really good. Dried out good, it tastes good. I got some in a bag over here. Probably gonna put some in a vacuum pack bag and put it in the freezer. But it turned out really good. Tell it's good and done. It tastes good too. It might work your earwax out of your ears. Chew on it, but it's good.
How long will this last just in the refrigerator in a bag?
Oh, I'd say at least a week. You got good, keep it good and cool.
It'll last longer than that. In the refrigerator, it's dehydrated.
Well, it should.
But you can put it in a vacuum packed bag and put it in the freezer, and it's going to stay for at least anywhere, probably close to a year. Because it is dehydrated. And then once you vacuum pack it and then put it in the freezer, it'll be good for a year.
I don't know, that last we made, I don't know how long we kept it in there. But I kept it in there until I got it all ate, so.
It's hard to tell when something dehydrated goes bad, really. It would stay in the refrigerator a couple of weeks before I'd start worrying about it, really. But a week for sure. You took some back and forth in the Duckwoods with you, and it stayed in the refrigerator for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, when it's cold at night, if I didn't eat it, I left it out in the boat. Ate it the next day.
It was pretty cold at night then.
It was cold. It was cold. Colder than the refrigerator.
Well, it smells good and looks good.
And it tastes good.
I'm going to put a homemade marinade recipe for beef jerky or deer or whatever you want to do it with. I'm going to put it down in the description box below the video where all my recipes always are, but you've seen what Danny used on these, and it's because he just really likes it. But I will have a homemade one too. My next video, we'll be making up the easiest bread you ever made, sandwich bread and hamburger buns. And also, y'all gonna get a sneak peek at the beginning of my new cottage garden. I am so excited. I'm gonna keep y'all up to date on it, step by step as we go. I just can't wait to see it this summer, all in bloom and growing veggies. So y'all stay tuned. God bless everybody.